So, how different is the healthcare industry across various parts of the world, and how best have you been able to overcome the region-wise challenges with your experience?
Absolutely. No, see, I am very biased in this. I think Dubai, it has a huge advantage. In the last 12 years, 14 years, almost 14 years now in the market, what Dubai did, and to me especially, it is when we came in, the standards are not set. There is
Right.
no standard. Different than when I came from US. US, you are very limited, especially it depends on your non-for-profit organization or profit organization. Non-for-profit, which I work, is a little bit limited. You are in a system, very rigid, strict system. Again, it is an excellent system. They worked on it for 100 years. But again, it doesn't let you sometimes go outside the box and try to do something. Might work, might not. So creativity there, it is almost limited because everything is a system and you have to be in the system and
Right.
you cannot really deviate. Coming to Dubai, Dubai is a growing market like every other, healthcare is like every other segment. It is growing, and while it's growing, we are setting the standard. So in the beginning, it is you who set the standard inside your hospital. And that's usually okay. We have a lot of things we learned in the US that it is very good, so you bring it here. But also the things that you wanted to try but you couldn't, you also can try here. Here it's a little bit different and more challenging. Few countries in the world have the same setup in UAE. It's I think Singapore is the same thing, where a lot of expats. So one size does not fit all. You have to understand a lot of culture. You have to understand. I have about 30 plus nationality in this hospital. We all don't think alike. We all don't. Yes to one means nothing. A shake of a head for someone means something else for the other,
yeah.
something else. The language, there's a lot of barriers in the language as well. So how to bring this together and make one family, this is where the challenge that not a lot of CEOs outside UAE have that luxury of doing. When we were in the US, we were 2 or 3 people are not pure American, let's say. So everybody thinks the same, the culture is the same. Here you come 30 plus nationality, now you have to respect everybody holidays, everybody. So here it's different. And then because, let's talk about Dubai, there was not full standards of healthcare and it's still evolving. We added to it. We were part of this standardization. So you feel your value is much more and your input is much more valuable here than in any other place. So that's what makes it really different challenge in the UAE. It's how you satisfy your patient, your staff who are from all different nationalities, and all your staff, your patients who comes from all over the country or the world, and they always compare.
Right.
You know, patient comes in here, oh, in our country they do it differently. In that, they will do it differently. You know, simple things like, you know, people always complain in the hospital about food service.
Right.
Try to make 100 nationalities happy with the same food. You know, it's a simple thing, but really this is the challenge we're having.
Yeah.
It is how can you make everybody, and you have to, you know, it is, you have another option is to say this is what it is, take it or leave it for both.
Right.
But this is not the right way. The successful management is try to adapt to everybody to a limit. I mean, there's sometimes you have to say no. But this is where we are. Really, Dubai has it will be one of the best, definitely, if it is not there right now because of this flexibility and the challenges. People who live here, if they go back to their country, they can manage anything.
Right.
Because it's much easier, I think, and less challenging because all the rules and regulations is set. You only have to follow it.
True.
Here, you have to be part of development, then practice it. So it is really an opportunity. It is, you know, to be at this time in the UAE. It's an amazing time.
Great. So, what procedures are being followed by Emirates Specialty Hospital to ensure that proper skilled medical professionals are recruited?
Sure. See, one thing, okay, you have 2 different ways to do it. One is expensive and one is not expensive. The easier way, which usually the followed in any organization, is to go outside the country and recruit the doctors to the organization, and you go with the natural growth of the organization, which will take 3 years to 4 years, 5 years, because you're going to build. I mean, you recruit excellent doctors, but not known in the market. So it takes a long time to develop them, and that also depends on the location. Whether if you are in the middle of the city and there's a lot of people around, then this works better.
Right.
For us, it's a different situation. We are in healthcare city. We are not a walk-in kind of hospital. People come to the brand. People come to the doctors. So our philosophy was we went to the other way, which go to the doctors who are really well known from years to us.
Right.
We know these doctors. Either we worked with them in the past or we know of them. So people are already been proven in the market, because you might be the most skillful doctor and might not be able to work in this market. This market is a customer service oriented. The doctor could be very, very skillful, but they do not have customer service experience. You have to be very patient. You have to deal with patients on one-on-one, day and night. Coming from a huge organization from US, UK, or any other countries, people feel that this is not my job. My job is medical. Here in the UAE, it doesn't. So our philosophy was to find these doctors and put them together under one roof, and that what worked for us very well is bringing highly reputable doctors, and they've done very well.
Great. As an HR expert, what are the major drain holes in healthcare industry, and what is your idea in plugging these drain holes?
Sure. Actually, HR is a passion for me. As I said, I found that HR is, to understand management, you have to know HR. You have to know the mentality of your staff. Otherwise, it doesn't. So I really took it in a different way. When I found out that HR, to me right now, HR is probably, the top second or third person in the organization should be the HR head, because they can make it or break it. They have to protect the interests of the staff on a daily basis. They should be the advocate of the staff. So I went back and I studied a lot of courses in HR. I did some in Villanova University, and I did in a couple of big universities, just courses to understand HR. And to challenge myself more, I am a global professional HR license as well. One of few in healthcare who is licensed as a global professional. I took it because I like it. And being a global professional in HR, it shows you the difficulties on how to work with multinationalities. It is different. Here, again, the most challenging thing is people are, which understandably that we are here for a purpose. We are here to support our families, whether in the UAE or outside. So money is very important. It is just what we're trying to teach or what we're trying to tell people. Money, yes, it's important, but the sustainability of the money coming in is more important. Right. You're making 10,000, somebody comes and pay you 20,000. Logically speaking, if you look at the market value of an exposition, and it's 5,000 dirham. If somebody pays you 10 or 15,000, and that is about 10,000 above the market value, you have to think twice about it. How long this will last? Some people, they say, we'll ride the wave and see what happens. 1 year, maybe 2 years, then we'll see what will happen. It's not the right attitude, because if you sit home 1 or 2 months, then you have to go back home.
Right.
And then to come back again, and change your lifestyle. A lot of people who jump these jumps, they live according to that jump. So if you were making 5,000, tomorrow you make 15, you live by the 15, you don't live by the 5.
Right.
So tomorrow, if God forbid something happened to that job and you had to leave it, you cannot go back to the standard of living of the 5,000. No way you can accept it. Right. So it disturbed all your life standards and everything. So that's what we always try to say. Think about it, see what it is. Yes, maybe in an organization you cannot jump a lot. While you are in the same organization, you're not going to start with 5, end up 50. It takes a while, unless you move into different positions and all that. But also, you are there. You're respected, you're appreciated. The market right now, especially in the last year or so, it's not easy to jump from one job to another. So satisfaction is very important. But this is our responsibility, is to show that okay, if I am going to sacrifice some money from a different organization, what are you going to offer me? Most important is respect and appreciation to what you do. This is what we try to do. The other issue, which there's no solution, we're trying to have a solution, is the different pay scale within the organization according to nationality. This is, to me, unacceptable. Unacceptable practice. But it's there. And this is the reality accepted in the market. Personally, I don't like it. So what to try to satisfy myself.
Right.
And not the, what we do is, in the initial stage of any organization, we have to follow the standard.
Right.
Because it has a huge implication on the budget and the financial status. But within a year, there is no black and white.
Right.
Everyone is the same, and we try to adjust the salary accordingly.
Right.
So if someone proving that concept of different salary, it came out maybe rightfully or not rightfully, I don't know, that these ex staff coming from this country highly work in a very high standard, so they will bring the standards with them, which it has some truth to it.
Right.
But if the other one comes in and show me better standard, then they have to be equal. And this is what we try to do. Again, we're not perfected it yet, but I think this is the only feeling I have in this market. And I remember the first when I came from the US and I started my first job, and I looked at the salary from the HR. If you're this nationality, this. If you're the same position, if you're this nationality, I'm like, this is criminal in the US. This is total discrimination. You'll be going to jail for it. I said, no, we have to change it. So the manager there, or the owner there, he said, okay, you go ahead and see what you can do. In reality, you can't. In reality, if you want to sustain financially, you can. But you have the right to change it according to people, because some people who you pay more because the perception that where they come from, that they have a much higher standard, but that person doesn't have. So they should not be in that difference.
Right.
Again, this is just a personal feeling about the HR and what should be done differently and make it a better, more equal. But this, again, it will never be as a law, because there is no law to protect either one. So it has to be the law of the hospital or the organization. As after a year or so from starting, it will be according to the performance and the standard, not the gender or nationality.
Wonderful. And I think we already spoke about the impending expansion plans of the Emirates Specialty Hospital. So are you planning to expand to India as well?
Not yet. Not yet. It is not in the plan yet. But our organization, the Emirates Health Group, and very aggressively expansion when there is a right opportunity. That's why if somebody told me today, where are we expanding? I don't know, because it's according to the opportunity. If you find an opportunity today makes sense, doesn't matter if it's in China, we'll go. This is the mentality is looking for the right opportunity from all different angles.
So you have one in Mirdif?
Right now for Emirates Specialty Hospital, under the name of Emirates, it will be a branch of this.
Okay.
Yes, it will be. And we're hoping to have the services that we don't have here. Okay. For example, we don't have any cancer center. We have excellent cancer or oncology surgeon in the hospital. Okay. Excellent, from all different levels. Okay. But we do not have the radiation therapy or the treatment, the chemotherapy. Right. So we're trying to compensate that in Mirdif. We are doing more hyperbaric, which is the oxygen treatment. Okay. We try to add it also in Mirdif. So basically what we've done, we have a lot of space, so we expand in all the departments. Okay. Here we're short of space. We really having issues with the space in this hospital. So this opportunity came in Mirdif. Now we can expand on departments. We'll make it bigger and better, hopefully, and to add services that it's either lack in the market or as well we need to expand and we can. So it is working very well. Okay. In general, women and children is one of the largest departments. And here in this hospital, we are doing great into delivery and children. The other, and the also in Meredith will expand on that because it's a young generation.
Yeah.
This community is a very young community. So women and children is one of the biggest departments that in any way, plus cosmetology, dermatology, and all that. When you go to cancer and cardiac, it gets less and less because people tend to try to go to to different countries, to their home and do it. One more thing is what we are trying to expand in Emirates Specialty Hospital with association of Dubai Healthcare City, as well as the vision of the rulers of the country. It's the health tourism. The health tourism is one of the biggest things right now in the market, and we are really looking forward to expand it. A lot of, if you look at not the healthcare, if you look at tourism in the UAE, it's one of the largest. If you see the numbers, it is one of the largest. So why not convert this number also into health? 1 or 2, 3% of that the tourism convert to health tourism, it will make a huge difference in the market for us. So we are, we are really, there is a good collaboration between the government for the Dubai Health Authority, Dubai Healthcare City. Everybody is trying as much as possible to make it happen that it would be Dubai and the UAE in general to be an attraction for health tourism. We are working very hard on that. We're doing good job so far, and we're hoping by 2020 with the expo it will reach to a peak. That will be a great added addition to UAE and Dubai, to put it on the map again, but in a different segment.
Great. So do you have any advice for our next budding entrepreneurs that you can give in terms of your journey so far and your position and your experience?
Yeah, I was just giving a talk to students from health management class just recently, and I always say, if your father has the money and open a hospital, refuse to be the CEO of the hospital. You have to go down, you have to be in every position first, and then go to the management. There's a lot of people think management is logic, or I read a book and I can. It is not. It's you have to live it, you have to feel it basically. So and this takes time. It is if you jump overnight, think about it twice because you can fall as fast.
Yeah.
You always have to build a foundation in everything. The foundation comes from practicing the day-to-day operation to understand deeply in anything. It's not just in healthcare. In anything, you need to understand deeply to how it works and why it works, so you can make a sound decision at the end of the day. So for all the people who are doing it, and then look at the market. You have to study the market very well and what makes a successful organization. To me, your team, your army is the most important thing. It is not the technology, it is not the location only. There's a lot, people say location. I understand that, but if the location brings you all the patients that you want, but your staff cannot handle it, they're not happy, they're not, satisfied, then that location will be a negative, because then there's more people come with a very bad negative thinking about it, so it will influence you reversely. So again, the team is the most important as a manager, and to study. I mean, right now everybody wants to open a hospital. This is the trend right now. Everyone is looking at the healthcare segment because it is the segment that sustained over the years with all the financial crisis. Healthcare grew. I remember in Medcare, our growth was with the biggest financial drop, and that's where a lot of people start. A lot of investors move into the healthcare sector. So again, to have to study why you want to be there, you have to have the passion. You have to be there not as a business. Yes, it is a business at the end of the day, but if you take it as a business from the start, you will not go. You have to have that. You have to spend the money. You have to have the right people. You have to have the right standard. That takes time.
Right.
A lot of people don't have the passion or not patient enough to wait and see. Let it take a course. We all now the new generation we want now.
Yeah, true.
Now. So this is what I advise, that take your time and again, what you want to do is, I always use the word sustainability. It's that in everything.
Right.
You don't want to jump to a position but fail, because then to come back again it will be much harder. And again, taking care of the staff. I was in China 2 weeks ago, and I like to usually learn from cultures and see how people think. So I went to one of the big manufacturers there. They have a factory there, and I wanted to see what they do, because we still have this like a black hole China. We don't understand China market, which is really, it's an amazing market, but to be explored. So I went to the factory. I mean, again, factory, it looks cleaner than this office. This is how the factory is. But what really struck me, and it was in a board, but I really couldn't understand it. I mean, so I had to ask the manager there, and I said, what is this? So every day, before the start of the work day, they check the morale of the staff. And they write, your morale is 7 out of 10. On the board, huge board, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10. To match that with your productivity. Because if your morale is not there, if you have a problem at home or you're depressed in anything, they will understand that your production will not be as good. So they have to keep an eye to make sure your product comes out right. And they do that on every single day. They check the morale of the staff and they record it. Okay. That's a different level, because now you're talking about, it is important to me every staff meet a patient smiling. Right. But if I have a problem, I have to know. So maybe I will move them from that position to a different position, or maybe work with them if there's anything I can help with this problem. They have to be satisfied to work and give you the best treatment. So just a small thing, but it teaches you a lot how, as a person, how HR should approach things. You have to evaluate. You have to understand the professional level of the staff as well as the personal level. So they give you the best. I'm not doing it, okay, let's be selfish. I'm not doing it for them. We're doing it for our organization. Let's say that. So I think there is a lot of opportunities that people should learn. And by learning, it's by taking time to visit and see. Again, these things doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come by logic. This comes by seeing, practicing, trying, because it might not work for us. Or basically, you take this, adapt it to your culture, adapt it to your system. And we are here, we always have to adapt and make things suits our culture, our organization. We should not copy and paste. People read books and they see the, Toyota did this and that. You cannot copy it. There will be areas where you have to adapt it to your organization. So this is what I'm saying. They have to learn it from all different directions. It's not just about I am the manager.
Right, wonderful, sir. So thank you so much. With this, we have come to the end of our interview.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Great.
And I hope we can help as much as we can.
Great, sir. And it was a pleasure having you with us. And thank you so much for your time. And Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you so much. Ramadan Kareem to all.